Oh, you didn't know? This is the Bodyweight Backyard Leg Workout Show. It's been about 2 weeks since working out, and as you can tell, I'm overcompensating by wearing all my buff gear to make sure you know that I'm still buff. But I think today I'm not gonna be taking my shirt off because, man, after 2 weeks, shit can go down south real quick, and I don't want anyone to see because it's embarrassing. Buff for life, bro. You want some more powerful legs and a higher vertical jump? Then you should try out the jumping squats. Now, this is more of a plyometric based exercise. What it's doing is focusing on the energy output and that really explosive strength on the concentric contraction, exploding upwards up into the air and then decelerating yourself to the bottom position. What you really want to do is, as you bring yourself down, try to absorb yourself and the body weight, bringing it down to the squat position, then right from that exploding back up into the top position. So if you want those big powerful legs and a more higher vertical jump, try the jumping squats. Yeah. Yeah, barely got that done. Jumping squats, superset right into the Bulgarian split squats. Those squats start burning real quick. Whew. Moving on to the hamstring curls with the stability ball. And we're supersetting that with sprints. So of course, with the stability ball hamstring curls, it's going to be helping to isolate the hamstrings with the flexion of the knee joint. But we're also supersetting it with sprints, which the hamstring is definitely going to be working during sprints. Obviously, you see those sprinters with massive legs. Their hamstrings are involved in a lot of those uses. So it's essentially the hamstring is used for deceleration of the extension of the knee as an antagonist to the quadricep. So in sprints, you'll just have to try these out. It's hard to explain, but yeah, I think Hudson put it best earlier, which I'll let him take over and explain it now.
You know that feeling when you're in a dream and you're running as fast as you can, but it feels like you're stuck in glue? Yeah, that's what this one's gonna feel like. So don't be too concerned when all of a sudden you feel like you're a 75-year-old man running and you're trying, you know, your brain is running at about 15 miles an hour, but in actuality, you're running at about 2.5. It's like it's just so intense.
So your heels are gonna be on the stability ball. You're gonna be lying flat on the ground. You're gonna thrust your hips upward, so you're kind of free floating in the air. Of course, that's going to take some stabilization as well in the core. Of course, you can help by just putting your palms on the floor here. You're just going to be curling those legs inward, nice and slow. It kind of looks a little goofy, but after the 15th rep, you can definitely start feeling it in those hamstrings. Really working on that knee flexion right through there. Keeping those pressure through the heels on the stability ball to help stabilize it. Sometimes you might have to adjust. And then keep that tension right in there. Core tight. Immediately onto sprints. And there you have it.
It's one of those workouts where you feel like falling on the ground after every single set. Damn. And yes, you do definitely feel like you're running in mud. Wow. So, what's up with the mustache? The mustache is back. Yeah. And it's not just because, you know, I love mustaches. It's because we're preparing for another huge shoot with our friends at Gearmark. It's not going to be the sequel to Gym Wildlife. We're working on that one as well for a late summer release, but it's going to be one just as big, if not bigger, and it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be kind of Chuck Norris's spiritual buff dude brother. Look out for it soon, probably in June. Yeah.
All right, so we got some lateral squats here. Important things to remember is you want to keep a nice wide stance. If you come too narrow, you won't be able to get the range of motion, the proper range of motion. You'll start compensating by bending this knee in to make sure that you're keeping that knee tracking over the toes. So get a nice wide stance, obviously a lot wider than shoulder width and hip width. So get about here, and of course the more mobile you are, a little bit closer you can get. So start out a little bit wider than you would think you'd naturally need. What you really want to do is also keep the toes pointing forward at all times. Don't let them flare out, because what happens is when you keep the toes pointing forward, it's really going to work on that ankle mobility in there. So that way, this is actually in the long run, as your ankles get more mobile, also your hip capsule and the hips get more mobile, your squats improve too. And of course, we're usually working in that frontal plane, or the frontward motion, the anterior motion, a little bit in the posterior with like deadlifts and things like that. But what these are great is working on more of the lateral motion here, working on the glute medius, really strengthen that. Of course, the stronger your glute medius is, as well as your gluteus maximus, it's going to really help stabilize not only the hips, but also work its way down to the knees as well. So this is why this exercise is particularly good. Nice stance, going to keep this leg straight. Going to have here, this knee is tracking right in line with the toes. Squat pretty deep in there. Press up right into the next side. You're going to keep a pretty fluid motion there and keep that torso pretty upright there. Try not to bend over too much as you're doing it. That torso upright, and keep those toes pointed forward. All right. Feel a little stretch in those adductors as well, a little bit in the hamstring as you come down and keep that leg straight. Oh yeah, there we go. Whew. Of course, we're supersetting this right into the jumping split squats. And in that lunge position, bring down, you're gonna jump upwards, creating that nice force, powerful, explosive manner, and bring it up, and you're gonna switch feet right in midair, up, and then land, absorbing and decelerating down to the bottom position. Make sure you just don't hit your knee into the floor. Keep that tension in those quads, hamstrings, and glutes, then push right off and switch. Working on those glutes, quads, of course a little bit in those hamstrings. That is it, thank God. All done.
Well, that wraps up the leg workout. Now, if you'll excuse me, me and my mustache are about to go for a ride.
Till next time, stay buff. Yeah.